Please welcome Linda Staib.
Hello everybody, my name is Linda Staib and I am invited by Refillable, who I want to thank for this upcoming presentation. To give you more the full space of the presentation, I'm going to shut down the video so that you can concentrate completely on the presentation. So let's get started straight away. So as I said, my name is Linda and I come from the company Alpla. Alpla is a rigid plastic packaging company and also experienced with PET and HDPE recycling. We are based in Austria, so in the middle of Europe, but produce plastic packaging all over the world in 45 countries, one of them the beautiful country of South Africa. And we have 181 locations in all these countries. Of this presentation is going to be a life cycle assessment, which we have accomplished a couple of months ago, where we made a big comparison of different types of packaging, also on the South African market. And we were guided and controlled by a consultancy named C7, which is a very renowned consultancy in Austria for life cycle assessments. Our life cycle assessment is made with the focus on bringing this public debate on a more objective level, so that a complete knowledge can be shared with the society. Of course, our LCA is following the standards of usual LCAs, which is the ISO 14044. We included in the calculation the manufacturing of packaging solutions, the transport, the filling, the distribution, and the material recovery and energy. We excluded for example, the transport to the customer. Okay, let's start straight away with our results. So we for different types of products, and we show you now our results categorized by the product. So for example, here, the first product is the food container. We compared a glass container with a PET jar with a tin jar or tin can. We're going to show you now the results for the categories climate change, summer smog, and water consumption. Of course, a complete LCA like what we did contains more categories, but for this presentation, we summarized it to these categories, which are for us the most interesting ones. And it is very easy to get our full presentation or full report. Just go on climate change, challenging plastics, on challengingplastics.com, and there you find our complete report on it. So as I said, we compared these 3 containers for food packaging, and the results were really interesting and showed clearly that PET packaging is the most preferred option for the environment when it comes to the climate change, the summer smog, and the water consumption. We could see with this analysis that tin, for example, when it comes to summer smog, has about 300% more emissions than PET. The same is by glass, for example, with the climate change effect, which is really crucial. So we saw that the greenhouse gas emissions together combined in the factor CO2 equivalent were by over 100% more than by the PET jar. So looked at the containers when they had recycling share. So we took the PET jar and made the calculation with 100% recycling PET content, and we could see that the results or the performance of PET got even better, and the examples or the calculation in the comparison with the other containers showed again that PET is the most preferred option for the environment. We also looked at the product Lemonade and looked there for packaging systems. We compared an aluminum can and a glass bottle again with a PET, but this time a bottle. And you can see straight away that glass packaging, a one-way glass packaging, I want to mention that, has a very high negative effect on the climate change and also on the summer smog and also on the water consumption. So again, when we have lemonade packaging, PET is the most preferred option. When we have their recycling content in the PET bottle, the results get, of course, even better, and the difference between the different packaging systems gets even bigger. So we can see here again that glass is the least preferred option, and recycled PET is the most preferred option. We also looked at returnable systems. So we use bottles or returnable bottles. We start to have them more and more on a global scale, of course. Maybe you know it, for example, for America, there is a big company called Loop where they really test more and more these refillable systems. So we also focused on our LCA, on returnable or refillable containers. So we looked at the aluminum can is unfortunately not yet returnable, but the PET bottle and the glass container or glass bottle, they both now with figures of returnable. And you see straight away that still PET is the most preferred option, which is also to do, of course, with the weight of the bottle. But for us, really interesting was also that once you start using reusable containers, you need way more water consumption, so you have way more water in the whole steps for the life cycle assessment. More we looked at the product milk, so milk packaging. We had there a comparison between a HDPE bottle, a glass bottle, and a beverage carton container, compostable. We in the middle of Europe have that quite often, that we drink milk out of a carton. So the comparison shows straight away that carton, of course, is also a very good option, but compared to a HDPE bottle, it is still better to use an HDPE bottle for the environment when you look at the factors climate change, summer smog, and water consumption. We also considered here the recycling material. So it is, of course, possible to produce an HDPE bottle with 100% recycling material. We also do that. And once we run the calculation for this system, we could see that the values are even more dropping of HDPE, which again shows us that HDPE is for the environment a very good option. Furthermore, we looked at the product water, and we compared the PET bottle and the glass bottle. Straight away you can see that the glass container, due to, of course, the high weight what the container has of course more impact to the environment, and is also with recycling content. The CO2 emissions are by PET less than by glass. The same also for summer smog and water consumption. And of course, by water, it is also the possibility to use a refillable bottle. So we also looked at this system and compared there the numbers, or run the numbers. And you can see straight away that, of course, with returnable systems, by the way we calculated about with 15 returnable return cycles by PET and 20 return cycles by glass bottle, which the numbers were given to us by the industries. And you can see still that the PET container is the most preferred option. Category what we looked at is detergents. And I want to mention it again, this is all for the South African market. So we also considered, of course, the whole recycling process or waste management process like it is in the South African market. When you take these numbers or these products and bring it to a different country, let's say to the US or to China or to India, of course you have different results because the energy in the individual countries, how it is produced, influences the LCA and the waste management and so on and so on. So there are a lot of categories where there is an influence on the life cycle assessment. So please be aware by looking at these numbers that everything is just for the South African market. So we did a comparison for the detergent products. We compared here the pouch, the PET, and the HDPE bottle. And again, you have to think also on the weight. And in this case, a pouch is the lightest packaging system. So of course, it also has the least amount of CO2 emissions. A pouch has roughly the weight of 12 grams, while a HDPE bottle has about 24, 30 grams, something like that. The size is all for 1.5 liter. And you can see here straight away that pouch is the most preferred option compared to HDPE and PET. Made here a calculation with recycling content. So we compared an 100% recycling content PET bottle and a 100% recycling content HDPE bottle with the pouch. And still we can see that the pouch, again, caused by the low weight of the material, of the packaging, is the most preferred option for the environment. So with that, I want to thank you. I think we could give you kind of a number crunching from us and a view of how a life cycle assessment can help us to look into the numbers and see the effects on the environment. And of course, we are always happy to discuss with you further, and looking forward to all your questions. Thank you and have a good day.